there was a lot of consciousness to putting the displays in the environment, but making them look different than what people
hmm
particularly would envision a screen to look like. So,
Hello, everyone. Pavlo here from Kitcast, as always. And with me today is Bryan Meszaros, who is the CEO of OpenEye Global. Hi, Brian. How are you doing?
good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much for being here. And I want to talk today about experience design. So, this is our topic of this KitCast talk. OpenEye Global, I think what you do is exciting. Like your projects, for example, Madame Tussauds Museum in Berlin or this ceiling screen in Arizona Resort. It's amazing. And yeah, and I'm very excited that we will be talking about that. So, my first question is very general. Uh, in today's world filled with screens, how do you design moments that people actually remember?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's hard. People are so saturated with visual technology
hmm
that to create these standout moments is even more challenging. And I think for us, it's looking at it from what it's trying to define a purpose,
hmm
and connecting to why people are actually in the physical environment to begin with. And I think when you start to kind of hone in on what they're after or what you think they're after,
hmm
that starts to help to create that attention. The other part too, and the couple of the projects you referenced, there was a lot of consciousness to putting the displays in the environment, but making them look different than what people
hmm
particularly would envision a screen to look like. So, the talking stick resort, it's a circular display. It's tied into the architecture.
hmm
So you have this level of engagement that ties directly to the way the environment is shaped. And the same thing with Berlin, that's an environment where people are coming into and screens are surrounding them. They're
hmm
bought in, they're immersed almost into the space. And then once you have their attention that way, then you can start to build the story around them. And I think it's all about relevance as
hmm
much as it is creating this unique visual experience for them. So I think when you look at both of them, you decide both, that's where you really start to separate an experience from just a screen on the wall.
hmm Okay, and what do brands get often wrong about experience design?
I think brands tend to put more emphasis on the technology and less on the creative.
hmm
We find where a lot of brands will feel that having the latest or following the latest trends of something visual or this large style of display is enough to grab attention or to see a return from it. Where we're trying to explain to them that the real power is in the visual piece of it. It's what story you're telling, what are you asking, what are you providing to the audience that they can see versus
hmm
necessarily allowing the technology to be the hero of the experience. It needs to be the creative and the story and the moments that you create visually and through, various forms of interaction. That's the hero, not the technology.
hmm Yeah, I love that. I love how you emphasize the importance of creative.
Yeah.
So, my third question is about the future. Where do
Okay.
you see experience design heading in the future? What are the trends that are defining it now?
I think the obvious, I look at it a couple of ways. I mean, I think obviously you have to look at AI
hmm
as a storytelling element. Um, in the sense of I look at it for where AI is allowing for more personalized experiences to happen almost in real time, or and
hmm
that's looking at it from saying if you creating experiences to where it relies on the use of data or other audience information, it's
hmm
interpreting that, making that content become more relevant and personalized to the user or to the audience that's in there. And I also like the idea too of having more engagements that are more passive, meaning that their behaviors, their actions, them moving around an environment is what triggers the experience to unfold.
hmm
So I think the combination of both, I mean, it's more personalized experiences using AI to curate that content or to deliver that content.
hmm
using sensors and cameras to allow triggers to happen based on people's behaviors. And then also, I love the continue to love the emergence more of different LED technologies, micro
Hmm.
LED now, transparent micro LED that we've been playing around with. It just gives a little bit more of that uniqueness, I think, that people are looking for
Hmm.
beyond just this, 16:9 object that we're all so used and so familiar with. So I think the creativity is even more so there now on how to bring those visual technologies into the environment to create this really kind of cool canvas that we can use as experienced designers.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That sounds very interesting. And what is the project you're most excited about, the OpenEye Global project right now?
So I think right now we've got a couple of them. I mean, we're starting to work. Interestingly, we've been getting involved a lot more with alcohol beverage companies,
Hmm.
and not from a product manufacturing or product marketing side, but more from a storytelling perspective. So, we've worked with two. One, we've been able to connect the brand to a circular type of display that
Hmm.
really kind of helps to talk more about the playfulness of that brand. And the other one, which is more around bourbon, they're looking at us to help them figure out how to tell their story better through learning about the history of bourbon
Hmm.
as well as the makeup of the cocktails that were inspired from the bourbon to the history. So it becomes for us, it's kind of exciting because you go more from selling products to more about telling the story of the brand and
Hmm.
in their own unique environment. And there's a lot of heritage for both. So it's like you have that kind of fun to where you want to keep, and I'm like one of those ones that I just love history and I love keeping the integrity of history, but
Hmm.
then using the modern means that we have to tell that story and really amplify it and connect it more to an audience today. So I'd say those two, and there'll be more about that coming out soon as those projects start to unfold. But
Hmm.
I'd say, be on the lookout probably later this year, early next year for the launch of those.
Mm. I just love how you talk about the projects. Like it's a complex thing. There is a historical part, there is a storytelling part, and there is a technological part, and you just combine it all. Yeah, that's exciting.
Fun. It's fun. Those are the fun ones to work on. I think when you really can help a brand to tell their story and really get them to connect to the audience on a deeper level, I think that's what becomes more gratifying.
All right. Thank you very much for these answers. Thank you very much for being here. And just to end, like I'm adding this part to our KitCast talks in the end. Can you share a book that you're reading right now, if you're reading one?
I wish I was. I wish I had the time. I'd say it's probably just I'm more on journals in terms of industry journals.
Mm.
I wish I could share a book that I'm reading right now.
Okay, it's not a problem. Yeah, I don't read a book now either. So,
Yeah,
yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for being with me today. And I wish you a great day. And I wish all the best to OpenEye Global and all the projects.
thanks, Pablo.
Thank you.